playing with right now?
We're playing with the new Oculus Rift here because I'm here with Palmer Luckey from Oculus. Palmer, great to have you back.
Thank you.
Live
it's
here
good
on
to be
YouTube,
here.
and Brian from Insomniac. We're going to talk about your game as well that you guys announced last week. But Palmer, we've got the Rift. People have them, but this is the new design that you guys revealed last week, and it's going to be at E3 for the first time, right?
Not just the new design. This is actually the final design for the Oculus Rift.
The final design, yes.
So our company's been around for a little under 3 years.
Yeah.
We've released several developer kits, DK1 and DK2, but that was for game developers to start working with VR games.
Yeah.
This is the real thing.
Wow.
This is functionally identical to what people are actually going to be using in their homes, and it's got integrated audio.
In early 2016, right?
Yes, we're going to be shipping in Q1 2016, along with a lot of great content.
Well, I love the ergonomics of it. I mean, it feels like it's going to be light. Put right there you go. Palmer is fully immersed into the Rift.
We've done a lot of work to make it as lightweight and ergonomic as possible.
Yeah.
And ergonomics is really tough to get hard in VR. I mean, we've got so many mechanical things going on. We've got multiple mechanical springs in this swivel adjustment. We've got adjustments back here, adjustments here. We've got adjustments here. These things actually slide up and down because everyone is different. Everyone has a different face, different eyes.
Yeah.
It really takes a lot of work to make something that works for everybody.
Yeah, it's really cool. I didn't know where you guys were going to end up with the design, but it looks very comfortable, although I haven't had the pleasure of putting it on. Now you conduct the rest of the interview in complete darkness, I guess. So tell us about the fidelity of the screens and the experience. I mean, how is this? Obviously, it looks different than DK2, but what is the difference between DK2 and this?
So one of the biggest differences is that the displays are running at a much higher frame rate, and they're also higher resolution. DK2 is running at 75 hertz. This bumps it all the way up to 90 hertz. Getting games there, it's a really tough challenge, but some people are up to that challenge. And that really increases the clarity and the smoothness of the game so that you can really believe it's real.
Right. Well, it looks awesome, Palmer. Now, this will be coming out Q1 next year. You guys haven't really talked much about what it's going to cost yet, right?
No, we haven't announced anything yet, but we're going to be opening pre-orders later this year.
Later this year for pre-orders, and obviously the Rift will, work with your PC or a computer. You guys also talked about a partnership with Xbox. So an Xbox One controller is going to come with every Rift.
That's right. It's coming with an Xbox One gamepad.
Yeah.
Really, over the past almost 3 years that we've been working with developers, devs have proven that a gamepad is a great way to make great VR content, and it's something that a lot of devs really wanted us to bundle so that they could know that every person who buys a Rift is going to be able to play or buy their game, and we want to help devs make devs successful. So that's one of the things that we've done.
And then you also revealed a crazy new these Half Moon controllers. That's your vision of kind of what it's going to be.
So the Half Moon controllers were going to be launching in the first half of 2016. They're a separate product. They're fully 6-degree of freedom motion tracked controllers. They're able to track the position of your hands and your fingers, but also their translation through space. This allows for all kinds of new types of virtual reality interactions. But we're really just starting to see devs experiment with that and figure out how to make the best games. Like a lot of technologies, it takes time for developers to figure out how to fully utilize it. So like devs using the Rift and gamepads for years, we're looking forward to getting these things out there so that they can start playing with what it feels like to interact in 3D space.
I moved over here, Palmer, just so you know.
Well, that's a problem.
Just throwing you for a loop. All right, well, it's very cool. We can't wait to see more about the control. Will that have like I know Valve has those like spinning red lasers to track things. How do you track those? Is there a new sensor for the Half Moons?
So we have we call it a constellation tracking system. We actually have an external sensor that mounts, and it can detect the infrared light that is in the headset. We've actually got a constellation of infrared LED light emitters underneath the fabric, and this fabric is actually infrared transparent, so it looks black to us, but to infrared light, it passes right through.
I didn't know that because Crescent Bay had those sensors, so those are in there.
That's right. Crescent Bay has holes drilled in plastic to let the light out. We've designed this using a combination of textiles and plastic to make it really lightweight and durable, and also allows it to hide all of the LED features rather than them being really visible.
Well, that's awesome. Great to see the final design, as you said. Now, Brian, you've been waiting patiently. Last week, Palmer had the studio's team and Jason Rubin on stage talking about a lot of the partnerships. Insomniac, Ted Price was out there talking about a brand new title that you're working on, I assume. Are you designing this as well?
Yeah, I'm the creative director on it. It's called Edge of Nowhere. It's a horror adventure set in Antarctica in the 1930s. And it explores perceptions of reality and the main hero's descent into madness. All
right, we got some new footage that we're going to show here of this game. So tell us about the experience. I mean, we look at it obviously as a trailer in a on a video form. You sort of see it obviously like great adventure. So is it a third-person adventure where you're sort of following behind the character?
It is, and we find that having a character on screen really gives you like this cool sense of reference. It's really fun to see this very detailed adventurer and with his backpack and all his gear running in front of you.
Yeah.
You get a sense of where his feet are and how to move him. But yeah, it's a completely different experience than when you've got the Rift on. You really feel like you're there in Antarctica.
Well, I know last year, I haven't played this yet, but when I played Lucky's Tale last year, it had a really interesting sensation about sort of being able to look around with, sort of move your head.
You
want
to stop sometimes, like especially in Edge of Nowhere. You're like, God, this is incredible, and you'll stop and look around a lot of the time, just taking it all in.
Yeah, here we've got a segment where he's descending through this cave, and you get to actually look up and down as you're traveling down this rope.
Right.
We have some amazing-looking creatures that are chasing you at one point, and you can just quickly look behind you as you're running along, jumping across these crevices.
Right. Wow, this is absolutely amazing with the scale of what you guys are able to obviously do. So the camera sort of stays locked behind the character, and then if you move your head, that'll sort of tilt the camera. Is that how it works?
Yeah, the camera trails behind the hero, but instead of using your right thumb to turn your head, you just naturally move your head to look around.
Wow, well that looks amazing. So how long have you guys been working on this game?
We've been in development since October. We kind of kicked things off, and we've been developing from the ground up. We had to kind of let go of all of our assumptions on how to make a third-person game.
I know.
And retool it from there.
That's great. So you're hoping to get this out, obviously, 2016, around when the Rift hits?
Soon. Yeah.
Soon. Okay. No commitment yet.
No
but
commitment
Q1
just
next
yet.
year.
Well, I mean, you want there to be titles for launch, but you also want there to be a pipeline. I mean, it's not like if you don't make launch, people aren't going to pay attention. VR is going to be around for plenty of time.
I know. It sounds like 2016 is going to be Battleground. You got Morpheus coming out. We'll see.
2016 has been great. It's really good that there's so many players out there all pushing this at the same time, because the real battle isn't necessarily even making content. It's convincing consumers and gamers that virtual reality is something they really have to try.
Yeah.
They have to try it to understand it.
No, I've been inside a lot of these headsets. It's really special stuff. So I cannot wait for 2016. And you guys are going to have this at E3, right? So people get to go heads-on?
That's right. We're showing off the Oculus Rift, the final consumer product. At E3, there's actually engineering samples, but they're more or less the same thing that people are going to have in Q1 next year. And we're showing them off with 6 games, including Edge of Nowhere.
Okay, cool.
So people will be able to try that out.
Awesome. Well, I'm definitely going to come by tomorrow and try them out. Thank you very much, Brian and Palmer. Always great seeing you guys. I'm going to scoot over here.